The parts add up to the whole thing. In this problem, we're going to use this kind of pro tip here that if you can describe the same thing two different ways, then those two things have to be the same. And I see here that we're trying to find x, and they told us a value for every other angle in here. Okay, well, if I add all of these up, that has to equal the sum of the interior angles. And in the previous video, we talked about the fact that if we're trying to find the sum of the interior angles, we're going to use that vertex to vertex method of cutting things up into triangles. So let's go ahead and do that here. And there's 2 triangles, and I know that each triangle has 180 degrees in its angles. And so now I have a nice simple equation that I can solve. And we wind up with x equals 25 degrees. Now, looking at this diagram, you can clearly see that I did a terrible job of drawing this. You probably could have noticed that earlier. And so this drawing is not even close to scale. And I apologize about that. But obviously this is an acute angle here. And since I started out with a diagram that was clearly not to scale, you can, kind of forgive the fact that this is clearly not a 25-degree angle here. But there you see a relatively simple but powerful, tip of, again, if you can write the same thing two different ways, those two things have to be equal. And that's a trick that we're going to use over and over again in mathematics and general problem solving.